That's why it's a sick joke. Let me tell the listeners something, okay? Supporting the InfoWars, spreading the word. We've already devastated them. Nationalists are winning all over the world, from Italy to Brazil.
Thanks for tuning in.
It's going to be tough on those of us that have been on the front line. We've been singled out for retaliation. But the Tree of Liberty gets
Ron Gibson style
by the blood of patriots and tyrants, jackasses. And that's what these globalists don't get. They keep thinking I'm like them and just holding on to life and holding on to power and trying to get on top of people and scheming. I'm already on top of you, spiritually. I don't even want power. You get real power, you don't want power. You people are fallen. I'm talking to the globalists right now. You're a joke. So here's the big, giant announcement to everybody. We're winning. We're going through hell. We got even bigger challenges down the road. But don't let anybody demoralize you because you are kicking butt. And who cares when mainstream media lies about you or attacks you? These are all the sellouts and all the scum and all the traitors and all the yes men who are just groveling and trying to get ahead by how low they can lay on their belly like fat little snakes. We're men. We walk on our legs. We don't bow down in ditches. We build a world. We're farmers. We're engineers. We're scientists. We're fathers. We're mothers. We're brothers, we're sisters, we're husbands, we're wives. But I tell you this, we're also very, very vicious and very, very destructive and very, very wicked when we need to be. And the globalists have been finding that out, you see. All they've got is throngs of mindless zombies that can't even find their butt with both hands. We have all the tools. If you simply get off the bench and start becoming political and cultural and economic in the fight, and nothing can stop you. You are invincible with God's help. And it's here, and it's now. But I'm going to say it again. The big news. They made a deal to sell us out to China and bring in world government collapses. In the 11th hour, 58 minute, it's begun to reverse. That's why they're in panic mode. It's why they're so criminal and why they're so dangerous. Is because they're willing to do anything. But now they're exposed, and they don't have control of the executive, and that's why we're going to win. The problem is, they're going to stage false flags and some really nasty stuff soon, and our biggest challenges are about to happen.
Google is developing an app to screen out content that the Chinese government considers too sensitive for its citizens. Translation: Google is helping China silence its political opposition.
China's chilling dictatorship is moving quickly to introduce social scorecards in which all citizens will be monitored 24/7 and ranked on their behavior.
A higher rating means you get benefits like no deposit of renting house or skipping airport security, but the low scores means you can't rent a car or apply for visas. The Chinese government expects to make this system mandatory in 2020.
Google is planning to launch a censored version of its search engine in China.
The Chinese government, as people probably know, has a quite comprehensive internet censorship system set up, and it's known as the Great Firewall. It blocks all kinds of information about, political opponents of the ruling Communist Party regime there. All kinds of things that they're blocking out.
Companies agreed to ban particular sites or search times on topics like human rights, democracy, and free speech.
Google's really the CIA. But it's leftist run now, so it's run over to China, and it's a civil war inside the intelligence agencies.
These are serious people plotting to finagle the searches, which is what Google sells to us as being fair and unbiased.
Google alone could determine the outcome of almost any American election just by altering its search suggestions. We'd never know what happened.
Well, Google is being accused of hiding negative stories about Hillary and her campaign by changing its algorithm to bury stories like the Clinton body count story. That's according to website InfoWars.
So Google won't work with the Pentagon on artificial intelligence, but it's officially moved its main operations for AI to China and is merging with the Chinese government, letting them have all the technology.
So they're working on behalf of the fascist Chinese government, sending propaganda to its people to keep them under the control of the government. But we shouldn't worry about the fact that they have a chokehold on all human information in English. Not a big deal.
I mean, that's a lot you just said there, but you shouldn't worry.
It's all true.
So Google always swears that its liberal, anti-Trump views of the top people doesn't affect the search, but documented proof of some Google executives wanting to tamper with searches as a form of political activism.
The Chinese government, let's remember, imprisons dissidents and Christians daily. They have more than 1 million Muslims in re-education camps. But the legitimate election of President Trump somehow conflicts with Google's vaunted values? Give me a break.
Google was working to get Hillary Clinton elected.
If a Google user types in Clinton body, they get car repair shop results instead of a story that talks about a list of people tied to the Clintons who have died under mysterious circumstances over the last 3 decades.
A new bombshell development reveals Hillary Clinton's leaked emails were likely responsible for the deaths of up to 20 CIA agents working in China.
Over a dozen CIA agents may have been killed as a result of Hillary Clinton's leaked emails.
The real election meddling is by Facebook and Google and others that are shadow banning people, that are outright banning people, and that are blocking conservatives involved in their own First Amendment political speech. Shame on the mainstream corporate media for not defending the First Amendment, but instead attack dogging, calling for federal regulators to shut down independent press working with big tech.
You're not allowed to get the InfoWars official app on your iPhone. You're not allowed to watch the Alex Jones Show on YouTube or Twitter or Facebook. But if you're the Chinese government and you want access to every citizen and all their data and everything they've ever done on an Apple product, good to go, baby. Good to go. And the left in America loves it.
You're listening to The Alex Jones Show.
How you like me now? 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 Welcome back. Okay, I have so much news I can do 10 hours of broadcast, but I keep harping on China because it's in the news. But the president, the Pentagon, even Congress, big corporations admit, okay, it's been a one-sided deal with China. It's been a giant crime against our country. We've been totally and completely sold out. And now they're transferring the internet control keys over there so that they can run censorship against the rest of the world out of there with a government that supports total tyranny. And then they've loaded spy chips into all the Chinese appliances, phones, you name it. That's Bloomberg Business Week. And now, this is from Yahoo News, Associated Press, Reuters is all picking it up. Stay away from China, White House top economist tells U.S. business. As trade tensions escalate between the U.S. and China, Washington is sending a warning to U.S. companies. Think twice about doing business in China. If I were a business, I would basically just stay away from China right now. Their misbehavior is so terrible. Kevin Hassert, chairman of the Economic Council Advisors, said on Yahoo Finance Market Show Friday. That's why President Trump is taking a hard line with them. They've got to change the way they behave if they want to be part of the modern world global economy. No, instead, they just do whatever they want because they're a bunch of mad dog communists that have been in power since 1949. And the children of all the party officials are all billionaires and are just allied with insane anti-American Silicon Valley. And again, our Google, all of them are helping censor, they're helping round people up, and they're helping create AI weapon control systems, but won't even work with the Pentagon. I respect the company if they said, I'm not going to work with anybody. I mean, if that was their, but no. We're America haters. We won't work with America. Hassert also cited the bombshell story from Bloomberg Business Week, which claims China's military deployed a microchip, they're in all the devices, to attack hardware and supply chain and infiltrated U.S. tech giants like Amazon and Apple. Both companies have denied the report. Oh, and they deny they censor, they deny they're leftists. And they still raised many concerns about Chinese electronic manufacturers. Hong Kong listed Lenovo and ZTA saw share prices drop 50%. Again, ladies and gentlemen, Zuckerberg, let's pull him up in China. He agrees with censorship, so does Tim Cook. Tim Cook, I did a special report on last week. Tim Cook, the most dangerous man in the world. Because he's the bridge, the Trojan horse. And he says, oh, we need to let China censor. It's called curating like a museum, and I want to do that in America. So he thinks they demonize me, they lie about me, and they pick me as the straw man, then they do it. So they're all moving back in. Big tech made the decision a few years ago under Obama to move back in. They've done it, and they never left. Is the truth. So the globalists made a deal to sell us out. We pointed it out. Others pointed it out. Trump got in. Russia distraction isn't working. And it's all coming out, and the Democrats are scared. How a Pentagon contract became an identity crisis for Google. New York Times won't work with the Pentagon. That's Google. You see? And now they're going to meet with the Pentagon and say, oh, we're not discriminating against America. No, the sky's not blue. No, no, no. Unbelievable. Because China has 1,400,000,000 slaves who have high IQs and work hard, and they can be used to leverage out the whole planet if they can have unfair trade advantage. And that's the plan, and that's why they did it. I'm done talking about China. I've done an hour and 24 minutes on it. I'm done. It's just now you see it coming into view. China is attacking the U.S. infrastructure and infiltrating it with the help of big tech. This was a plan under Hillary and Obama to put us into checkmate, to make us capitulate, to capture America. They're globalist. China is the globalist stronghold. They said at Davos. That's the plan. Yeah, let's just show images of Zuckerberg with the Chinese president. So that's what's going on. They've got a pliant group. The left thinks they can leverage into global domination. Well, not if we're aware of it, and not if we start cutting China off. Who wrote the TPP deal? Hillary. Who turned out, helped write it? Dianne Feinstein. And who gave advice and what they wanted if China was going to join TPP, which they never even ended up doing? Because they just got us to go to the agreement, but they didn't have to enter it. And that was the Chinese chief of staff she had. It was her personal aide for over a decade, a high-level Chinese intelligence operative, now confirmed. Of course, that's a Chinese seat in the Senate. They paid for it. They believe they own us. They think we're idiots. Because when you are brought up like Dianne Feinstein to hate America, and her whole world is hating America, hating Western culture, she's taught to feel inferior, she's taught that she's been put down and she's an underdog, so if she can metaphysically piss all over America and run us into the ground with a bunch of soulless Chi-Com murderers, she'll be a real girl. Guess what, you old hunchback witch? Get ready, because everybody hates you. So there you go. Now, we're going to go to break, come back with the head of Gab that they're trying to take off the internet as well and trying to take their processing away from to get into the censorship wars when he thinks Andrew Torba thinks we should do to fight this. Then we're going to open the phones up as well after that. Then I have Conrad Padilla here in studio, Millie Weaver, and so much more. We're also going to play this compilation, part of the compilation. We've got a bigger one coming up when Millie Weaver joins us. I'm going to host the 4th hour today. When Millie Weaver joins us, incredible footage, she and her crew. She's got 2 crew members now, not just Gavin, one other fella. Just the most amazing stuff. Now, we're on broadcast TV, so we have to blur out all the shirts that say F this and people flipping the bird. So you'll see a lot of black cubes and stuff everywhere, but that's what's happening there. So that's all coming up as well. Infowars.com, newswars.com. I cannot stress enough how they're trying to shut us down. I cannot stress enough that because they've taken our payment processor, PayPal, and then we've got some backups, but they are just, like we're a foreign country, the globalists are persecuting us like sanctions, because we're Americans. Globalism is a sanction on America. So I'm seen as Americana. I'm under massive attack, as you know. Trump now, they say, has lost $2 billion in his businesses since he ran for president and won with all the persecution. Well, guess what? I don't have 1/10 of what he's lost, 1/100th of that. So we don't have the money to operate under that. We've still got shopping cart. You're still able to get orders through, and then whatever orders go through will be shipped out. That's why we're wrapping Christmas and Black Friday and Cyber Monday all into one now and saying, get your products now at InfoWarsStore.com and go ahead and order the Christmas stuff you're going to need. Some X2s, some colloidal silver, silver bullet, some real Red Pill Plus, even though X2 is going to sell out, even though Brain Force is going to sell out, it's our last run of that, Super Male Vitality, we're still going to do 50% off just to get the inventory out the door. We know our numbers. We're sure to sell all this by Christmas, but you know what? I'm not going to wait till then and then sell it then. We're going to get it out the door. Help us now get the money in to make sure we can continue on for a while, no matter what they pull on us. But don't wait, ladies and gentlemen. Take action. 50% off, super sale, and free shipping store-wide. Free shipping store-wide, 50% off on all the supplements, a bunch of other big specials as well. InfoWarsStore.com. InfoWarsStore.com. They absolutely hate the fact that you're able to support us and get great products.
For months and months and months, CNN, BuzzFeed, and others lobbied to have Alex Jones removed from social media. He was removed from basically all the major social media platforms apart from Twitter. And then they said, oh, you're not being banned. You still have a platform on Twitter. You still have an app in the App Store. Boom, banned by Twitter, banned by the App Store. Oh, but you still have a website. You still have InfoWars Store. You still have a shop front. And then what do we see? Washington Post. Oh my God, traffic to Alex Jones's InfoWars Store has increased by 50%. Maybe now we should look at that all the way down the line. They literally want to sabotage people's right to commerce. They will not stop, which is why we need your support right now by getting the products at InfoWarsStore.com. And again, we're not funded by giant fat checks from George Soros like Media Matters is to fund these deplatforming campaigns. We're not funded by Gulf state dictatorships like CNN is. We're only funded by you by getting the products at InfoWarsStore.com.
I am a government auditor, right? So I work for the Government Accountability Office.
That is Natarajan Subramanian, an auditor for the Government Accountability Office. The GAO, as it's called, is supposed to be an independent, nonpartisan agency that investigates how the federal government spends taxpayer dollars. Subramanian is also an avowed communist and a committed member of DSA, the Democratic Socialists of America.
We have a bunch of just like communists, prefix and aspects of the we have some folks who are like Trotsky and
Subramanian admits that he is not alone, that there are many, many DSA socialist operatives working inside our federal government. These people, these socialists, are not helping our government. They are actively subverting President Trump's policies.
Like we're an executive branch agency. You can slow ball things to a degree that it's like ineffective, and maybe you get in trouble, and maybe you get fired or you resign or whatever, but like you slow them down for some period of time.
Perfect timing with Trump battling the deep state and rogue government, literally saying they're taking their orders from Hillary and Obama. They call her Madam President still. Just the arrogance, the attitude, the videos you have of them saying, we're never going to get fired. We're part of the Socialist and Communist Party. We're going to take over America. And so it's the arrogance, it's the chicken neckness, it's the stupidness of them, but then it makes me feel stupid. How do we ever let this much scum run our lives, James O'Keefe?
Well, Alex, this is why maybe we need civil service reform, because the deep state is not just the director of the intelligence agency and Rosenstein and whoever else. It's also millions of foot soldiers, thousands and thousands of these people that we've caught on tape. This is just a small cross-sampling of them. And yes, if you look at these tapes, what's remarkable is, the guy that we released Thursday, this self-described communist inside a government auditor's office, he says, what I do is explicitly prohibited. I'm hungover. I don't even go to work. I spend my time, this is what he says on the tape, I spend my time electing Democratic socialists, and I lied on my forms to the federal government, but nothing will ever happen to me because there's no oversight. Nobody will care. It's impossible to get fired. This is what it is. There he is right there, Nate Subramanian, auditor at GAO. So it's just, these are what they call the Democratic Socialists of America. A lot of them are federal employees. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is videotape. And by the way, the man you're looking at right there, that man right there, he has been shown the door at GAO. While they may not be able to, quote, fire him, they have removed him from the building. This is like a Greek tragedy. They can't fire the people, so they just have to, take them away from their computer systems.
You're listening to The Alex Jones Show. Live From Austin, Texas, broadcasting worldwide, it's Alex Jones.
By the way, Tucker Carlson defended us twice last week. I never even got this clip. I want to play this ahead of our guest joining us because slowly but surely, free speech is being very quickly strangled. And now they're going after your ability to even be in the free market. And the Democrats are using people inside the Justice Department, inside the CIA, to dox folks, as you're now seeing, criminal charges, with intel that only insiders could have to actually shut down our ability to even have our own platforms. And the head of Gab, which is a true free speech social network, is facing oblivion right now. Many authors that were bestsellers on Amazon have had their payment processors taken and Amazon taken, so they're just going dark. I mean, this is serious. We need the president and Congress to act. First, you had to turn the economy on. You had to point out that the Chi-Coms are the real enemy that the globalists are using as an attack base against us. And he had to get the Supreme Court in place to move forward. But guess what? Trump is about to go on the attack after the midterms. So all the globalists and AI pushers at Google and all the rest of the censors, get ready. Here is
It's on,
Tucker
motherfuckers.
Previously on the show, we've told you how employees at Google discussed altering search results to undermine the White House's immigration policies. At the time, Google said it has never changed search results for political reasons, and it never will. We knew it was untrue then. Now we can prove that it is untrue. The show has obtained internal Google emails in which an employee discusses editing YouTube search results to suppress videos based on their political content. Here's one example. Last March, Google engineer Dong Zhao sent an email saying the company wanted to, and we're quoting, demote low authoritative content on controversial queries to fight against fake news. This was not hypothetical. He said the company had already succeeded in suppressing unwanted videos for searches like Hillary and, we're flattered here, Tucker. It's not clear which videos were suppressed because Google won't admit it or tell us, but the email does indicate that Alex Jones and InfoWars were a major target of this. Google says their efforts are not political and meant to fight conspiracy theories, though for the record, we have never endorsed any kind of conspiracy theory on the show and never would. And by the way, how does Google define a conspiracy theory? They haven't told us that either, or why a superpower global monopoly ought to be making that decision in the first place, since they have a congressional exemption in which they promised not to. They promised to be a conduit through which information flows and not a news site that edits it. Congress might want to rethink that agreement.
Yeah, that's about to happen. Conspiracy theory means questioning the official story. They mix it in with Bigfoot, space aliens, but that's not the stuff that hurts them. They have censored me saying Jones claims big tech censoring conservatives. We have Project Veritas videos. We have internal documents, hundreds of them, where they say our main enemy is Alex Jones. Our next enemy is Paul Watson. Our next enemy is Donald Trump. And yes, Tucker Carlson, his videos would all get 20 million views. You can't have his show, on YouTube have 20 million views. Before they put shadow banning on him about a year and a half ago, I noticed every Tucker Carlson video had like 5 million views. Now they're 500,000 because they shadow ban the things. Okay? It's simple. They admit it. I have their executives on hidden camera. I'm going to spare you and go to our guest, Andrew Torba of Gab.com. Andrew obviously launched a successful site. Millions of people use it. And Google's delisted it. They've gone up his payment processing. They're trying to shut him down right now. So they say, oh, go do your own thing. Oh, yeah. That's when they really come after you. So it's good to have you here. I wanted to get your view on where we are right now in this purge, 29 days out from the election, because it's hurting those of us that run these operations. But I think the intimidation and the censoring is actually waking a lot of people up. But will it be too little too late? Where would you say we are right now in this fight?
Well, Alex, I think a lot of people are waking up. Today, actually, just within the past half hour, we had a breaking news report that Google+, Google's social network, exposed the private data of hundreds of thousands of users to developers, just like Facebook had millions of users' data exposed to developers for years. This is going on. And finally, people are starting to wake up and say, wait a minute, why do we have all of our data? Why do we share all of our most intimate private moments, all of our most intimate private conversations with these 2 or 3 companies? And that's really why we started Gab. Is I was out in Silicon Valley and I said, why is there no real alternative? Like, we have this illusion of choice where all of these companies own every single app that we use to communicate, every single app that we use to get news, to get information. Why is there no real alternative? So that's why we started Gab. And, you know, I saw this stuff coming, and I've